That is freaking clean. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Damn, that looks good.
Yo, what is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm going to talk a little bit about everything that you guys saw installed in this video, and of course where I got the products and sort of my vision for this interior. Okay, so when it came to the 1 Series interior, I'm still working on stuff up front, like the front seats. I'm actually pretty happy with everything other than the seats up front. It's basically just Alcantara, some custom details done, but this all looks really good. I'm very happy with it. Now in the back, I wanted to do something just a little bit different than your average rear seat delete, and I found this company online. They're called Stern Performance. They make some really cool, interesting parts for different cars, including BMWs. So while we could have just done like your average rear seat delete, I just wanted to try something new and something a little bit unique to this car. So this took about 5 weeks for them to make it and ship it out to me. They are out of the country, so you can assume that it does take a little bit longer. I ordered this from H3R Performance, basically just a fire extinguisher with a billet mount. However, in order to mount it where I mounted it, I had to make this custom bracket, which is basically just a bunch of small little parts that I found over at Home Depot. And then of course I used some hardware, and I just sort of measured everything up, drilled some holes, and used the factory mounting holes down here. And yeah, this actually turned out really good. I'm very happy with this. And it also looks really clean in this interior. It's not too over the top. I didn't really have to cut up the carpet too much. I just had to put those 2 little holes in there. But let's talk a little bit about the entire rear seat delete kit. So when I ordered this, I did not know anything about this company. I really didn't know a lot about the quality of the parts I was getting. I think everything was right around $500 shipped, which isn't too bad. You can change out the colors of the net. You can order just the net and not the carpet. You can order just the carpet and not the net. So there were some options there. I wanted to keep things sort of uniform, so I didn't want to go to a red because that red might not match the red seats on the interior. This BMW red is just a little bit dimmer. It's a little more flat compared to like a normal red. So I just decided to keep it simple, and I went all black with everything, and I think that was the right move with this. I think overall it really blends in well with the interior setup on this car, just sticking red and black basically throughout the entire theme of the car. It looks super freaking clean, man. I am beyond impressed with this and very happy with it. All of the piping is leather piping all the way around here. As you can see, everything is custom fit just for the 135. It fits absolutely perfectly, and it's heavier, so it's not like it's just gonna lift up on you all the time. This was rolled up in shipping, so it does have to flatten out a little bit. I'll probably just leave some like boxes right there and right there to make sure that it just flattens out overnight. But yeah, as far as fitment, man, it is absolutely perfect, flawless, could not get better. As far as the net, again, I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't see any installation resources online for this, so I just sort of winged it. There was a bolting point over here, as you guys saw in the video. Also, I love that this retains the factory side bolsters right here. I think that looks really freaking good. It just looks more complete rather than unfinished. Again, in the back, everything fits super, super snug. I am gonna have to leave something heavy in the back to just sort of hold this down for now, because again, this was rolled up in shipping, so it just has a tendency to want to roll up again. But yeah, they got their tags all over. It looks really nice. But these bolts that are used over here to actually hold the top of the net up, they have a little spring on them, so you can compress them all the way down, but it still gives you a bit of flexibility. And if you need to move things around, you can sort of do that. There's no noise from the net. It's literally perfect. The whole setup is absolutely flawless, and I love trying out new companies that I've never heard of. I've never heard of these guys before, just randomly found them in a Google search, and I was just thoroughly impressed with the product. This company, H3R Performance, I found out about these guys from a buddy of mine who has a 135 build to a 1M clone. You guys can look him up on Instagram, Nathan Schwartz, freaking beautiful 1M clone build. But yeah, he told me he was running this fire extinguisher, so I ordered the extinguisher as well as the billet mount, and the only thing I really had to do is find a way to actually mount it into the car. And so I sort of came up with this little bracket idea, basically just like a flat piece of metal right here, and then a couple of hinges that are L-shaped. I lined them up with those factory holes right here, and yeah, it worked out really good. Those two alone really completed the back for me. I think that, you know, I really wouldn't do much else back here. I really like the idea of having it sort of empty like this and less cluttered. So yeah, guys, I had no idea what to expect from this. I really didn't know how to install it. I just sort of dove into it, and the weight of everything is really good. Like the carpet's a little bit more heavy, so it's gonna stay down down. I just think it's a really good option for this car and something that you might not see all the time. Just a little bit more original and unique. So yeah, I'm super happy with that, man. I think that that turned out so good. I've had the fire extinguisher and the mount for quite a while, and I was just waiting until the rest of the stuff showed up so I could sort of put it all together. And man, now that I see it in here and the vision's sort of coming to life, I'm really happy with it. The interior for me is very close to done. Really, I just want to replace the front seats. It's either gonna be F82 seats in red, or I'm gonna go with some Recaro Sportsters in black. I haven't quite decided yet. Whatever I choose for this car, I'm gonna do the opposite in my E92 M3. So if I do F82 seats in here, then the E92 M3 is going to get Recaro Sportsters. But if I do Recaro Sportsters in here, then the E92 M3 is gonna get the F82 seats. I just think it would be really cool to have both of those options in different cars, and I could switch back and forth between each of them. But really the only thing left that I have to do on the interior of this car is the headliner. So the headliner, the pillars, these pillars over here, the rear pillars in the back. We obviously have this super ugly gray color. I was going to wait to do this because I was contemplating whether or not to do a carbon roof on this car. I was gonna cut this roof off and actually install a carbon roof. But honestly, I just ran out of time. There's no time for me to do it, especially before February. So what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna keep the roof as is with the sunroof. Not a bad gig. I kind of like the sunroof. Maybe down the road I can switch this all over to carbon, but for right now we're gonna keep it with the sunroof, and I'm just gonna go ahead and reupholster everything inside that is gray over to black. I'm just gonna use some Alcantara and do it myself. You definitely could run a cage back here with this setup too. I think that would also look really good, but for this build in particular, I just think it's unnecessary and you really don't need it in a car. What I've learned with cages is, you know, if it's not an actual race car, it just takes a lot of work to have a cage in there and then reach the back if you ever need things back here. It honestly becomes more of like an obstacle, and it just gets in your way and becomes annoying after a while. So yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this cool little interior mod. I'll have everything linked down below from Stern Performance and the H3R Performance fire extinguisher if you guys are interested in it. All that stuff, they make all of them in like different sizes and colors and different cars and applications. But I am really happy with this. I mean, I couldn't have planned it any better. It turned out exactly how I imagined, and everything fits perfectly. I think this is such a cool shot from the back, and like you can see the fire extinguisher and everything up there. And even with the right lighting, you can see it all from the windshield. You can see like the netting in the back and everything. It looks so freaking cool. It's very, very race car, like CSL type vibes a little bit. Pretty awesome. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tagging along on the 135 build. It's coming along, man. We got a lot of work to do, but it's definitely coming along. I'm not sure how much more we'll be doing on this car before it goes to the body shop. This might be the last thing that you guys will see before we go straight to the body shop. I have a meeting with my body shop tomorrow, so I'll sort of get an idea of turnaround time and cost. Hopefully we can make this happen before February. We are cutting it close. We are cutting it very close. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching the videos. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.